Good morning. This is Lit Airport, and this is Charlie Mike, our little baby, who will take up flying this afternoon and enjoy all this good, beautiful blue sky above. I'm Hany. The hat is to cover my white hair because I'm 70, and this flying machine is amazing. And the idea is that to see if I can actually still do this. And here we go. We will now come in to beautiful Charlie Mike. Here are the back seats. You can also take a little bit more passengers here. And the idea is that I sit there and I pretend that I know what I'm doing and take this up for a little ride. Okay. Lid Tower, good morning. November 138 Charlie Mike at the apron. Request taxi, just one on board for southend landing and back later. And November Charlie Mike, we got the information, Yankee.
November Charlie Mike, head approach, good afternoon to you. Information Yankee, N138CM, taxi holding point Charlie, runway 21.
With information Yankee 1024, taxi to holding point Charlie for runway 21, November 8 Charlie Mike, thank you.
Number 1.
Report final number 1, Golf Hotel Alpha.
Point Charlie is over there. And November Charlie Mike, let the Cessna go in first.
The Cessna's holding there for power checks, so you can position in front of your power checks if you wish.
November Charlie Mike, I will.
Lit approach, Sierra Golf, Mike Charlie, reach dash. November 8 Charlie Mike, right turn out 21 clear for takeoff, wind is variable 4 knots.
Right turn off, November 8 Charlie Mike, thank you. Okay, here we go. Now we need to put the P2 on. Manual fuel, manual selection. Landing light on. Transponder is set. Is getting less. Flight control. We need to check that they are all free movement.
PA32, 1POB, request taxi, VFR flight to the 2K, information Yankee 1.
And the time? The time is 12:20.
Golf November India, information Yankee QNH correct, squawk 7066, taxi holding point Charlie, runway 21.
7066, Charlie 21, Golf November India.
November 8 Charlie Mike, entering runway.
Are you ready for departure?
Golf Tango Papa, taxi holding point Alpha.
Golf Tango Papa, taxi holding point Alpha.
Okay, here we are, we're all lined up. Runway heading, and then we turn right. Okay. .85 knots, and up we go.
Squawk 7066, point Charlie from runway 21, Fox Golf Bravo Papa Lima. I call you back after run up.
6 knots.
Unreadable, it's Golf November India.
Golf November India, radio check.
Golf November India. November 138 Charlie Mike, big in approach, man.
PA 46 out of Lid inbound for southend via your overhead. 22 miles to run, 2,300 QNH 1024. Request your basic information. November Charlie Mike.
Hey Charlie Mike, basic service, Hawk 7047.
7047 and request an overhead transit at 2,300 November Charlie Mike.
November 8 Charlie Mike, report with 5 miles to run for the big and overhead.
Report 5 miles, November 8 Charlie Mike.
Golf Zulu turning downwind.
Right, we've now put the squawk, which is the frequency that is required for Biggin to see us approaching, and Biggin Hill, and he's asked us to call him 5 miles before we arrive.
Golf Bravo
About
Sierra
that
X-ray
much.
Alpha is just approaching 7 knots from the
And
south.
then this way would be south end.
Request rejoin.
Okay, right, 3 Alpha 3, you go back to the hangar.
Right, Alpha 3, I may refuel, I'll fully
Gotcha. After November Alpha, left turn 1 mile, runway 03, clear for takeoff, 7310 degrees, 5 knots. 70, Golf to the Oscar.
And November Charlie Mike, we're now 5 miles from the overhead, and we'll do an overhead transit to southend.
November 8 Charlie Mike, you're cleared into the big and ATZ, report overhead to field.
Clear to the A to Z and report overhead the field. November 8 Charlie Mike.
Golf Bravo, Bravo, India Lee. Golf November
Traffic,
Alpha, big and...
traffic.
Here is the
Golf
traffic that he's
November
talking
Alpha,
about. It's underneath us,
2,200 feet.
and it should pass us on this side.
East of the M25, M23 junction, shall call on rejoin. November Alpha, A firm, equals 47,000, and free call head.
And he's just passed over there, I can see him.
47,000, free call south end, 130780, bye.
130780 and 7,000, November 8 Charlie Mike.
X-ray Alpha just 2.
Southend direct, shift Golf, Mike Charlie, request frequency change for L code 122.430.
Mike Charlie, you're still in Southend's controlled airspace, so I
We're
can't transfer
now
you for another
climbing
6
the
or 7 miles.
extra 100 feet that he's done, asked us to, which is now level. This is the heading 045. Here is the runway,
PTR, so report
and
that mold.
shortly I'll put the charts on so you can see where everything is. And we are now on vectors. Vectors means that he will tell us what to do. In other words, he'll say fly this heading and then fly that heading, descend or not descend, and so on. We are on heading mode, but I'm going to activate, means make the frequencies join with the aircraft for the landing. So I'll select the approach again. It says here, activate vectors to final. Say yes. But we are still on heading. If you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Let's have a look. Here is that the direction of the runway. We are heading, we're flying this way, but the runway is that way. And this means that when we turn around, we need to capture this to bring that line, as you can see there, to bring that line to the middle. Then that line guides us to how far to the right or to left
Mike Charlie, there's no restriction now if you wish to descend.
the runway is, and that tells us where the runway is, and there'll be another button here to tell us
fixed-wing circuit is active, contact power now,
the angle of descent. I'll show you all this in a minute.
127.730,
Let's look at the chart itself, the paper chart, and here is our position. That's where we are going to come to.
November 8 Mike Charlie, turn right heading of 130 degrees.
November 8 Charlie Mike, this call for me?
November 8 Charlie Mike, A-firm, turn right heading 130 degrees.
130 degrees, November 8 Charlie Mike, thank you. This is the turn, 130, there we are, we go. 120, and there is 130. Now he's going to line us to initiate the turn. Once I've completed the turn.
Mike, turn right heading 200 degrees, you're closing from the right, clear for the ILS approach, runway 23.
Right heading 230 degrees for the localizer, November 8 Charlie Mike.
200.
200, November 8 Charlie Mike, sorry. That's the localizer that he's talking about. That will start to come down now. And here is the glide slope, the thing that makes us descend into the runway. I better put the shield down because it's going to be sunny in our face. So the aircraft is turning now, intercepting. November 8 Charlie Mike, localizer established.
November 8 Charlie Mike, ready traffic is established on your right hand side, 1 o'clock, 7 miles laid downwind, Cherokee, positioning ahead of you, 1,000 feet.
Taxi Charlie X-ray initially got off with Whiskey.
Southend Tower, November 138 Charlie Mike.
Number 138 Charlie Mike, Southend Tower, continue approach number 2 behind a Cherokee on a 1.5 mile final for a touch and go.
Continue approach, November 8 Charlie Mike. Here is the glide slope coming down. We need to slow a little bit, down to 500 from 600 there. And now we'll put the gear down.
Go Foxtrot, runway 23, clear touch and go, wind 310 degrees, 6 knots.
Gear down,
Clear to go.
and then second stage flap.
Golf Tango Foxtrot.
Got Lima Whiskey, after the DA40 left to right, taxi holding point Alpha 1.
You wait till the DA40 left to right, then Alpha 1, Golf Lima.
This is the paper chart. We are now online. Runway is direct ahead. I hope that you can actually see that. A bit too early, but we'll see. We are on the approach now, so we do approach checks. Manual fuel, manual pump, landing lights on, and that's it really. That's all it takes. The landing gear is down, the 3 greens are there, stage flaps. When we are 2 miles from the airport, we'll put the final stage of flaps. Wind is coming from the right.
Charlie Mike, runway 23, clear to land, wind 300 degrees, 6 knots.
Clear to land, runway 23, November 8 Charlie Mike. Wind is coming from the right, 14 knots. So it wants to push us this way. That's why the aircraft is trying to turn as if it's turning right, but really it's grabbing. It's going like that. It's going like that. At the end, as I touch down, I will adjust this and then I make it to go like that, so then it touches on the 4 wheel, on the 3 wheels rather. We don't have 4 proper. We are now 2.5 miles from the missed approach point, which is just before the runway. That is, if we can't make the runway and we don't see it, that's where we climb again and go for another trial or go to another airport.
.500.
Okay. The final stage of flaps down and just slow a little bit more, much more, just a little. 600 meters. Disconnect the autopilot.
Minimums.
This is the minimum that if I can't see the runway, I must go around again. Now we're on the final for the landing. 90 knots. There I'm going to adjust for that turning so that we touch down very smoothly, which we just now. Reverse thrust. Slow the aircraft down.
November 8 Charlie Mike, vacate left at Charlie.
Vacate left at Charlie, November 8 Charlie Mike.
And do you wish to taxi straight back round for departure?
Taxi straight back to departure, yes please.
November 8 Charlie Mike, roger, via Charlie and Alpha, taxi holding point Alpha 1.
Via Charlie and Alpha to Alpha 1, November 8 Charlie Mike. First of all, we vacate. That's what we said we will do. Until we get to that point, we can't really stay vacated. So now we can stay vacated. I will just stop to prepare myself for the next flight.